Shalom. Call Hala Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rahakodash. Double honors to the teachers, the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Peace, love, and salutations to the whole elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching in our true sincerity and diligence for the sake of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord, one this lesson may be edifying and straight to the point, in which this sitting going to be pretty much wrapped around good and evil. You see, which the elect of the nation of Israel would be the representation of their good, bringing forth the words of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, which ultimately leads to life, man. In which the Lord said that we know that the law is good, you see, in which we know the law is the book in its entirety. And the elect come teaching in the volume of the book, man, come teaching Yahweh Shai. You see, in Esau, the so-called white man, will represent the evil, man, in which the Lord said that this man is as death, you see, because Esau ultimately promotes death. You see? Let's just start off right here. It's the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 33 and verse 14. He said, good is set against evil and life against death, you see? So that good, which would be this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, is set against the evil, the folly of Esau, man. So you really got two sides to the story. You either can walk with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the counsel of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, or you can be under the folly of the so-called white man, which ultimately leads to death. He says, so is the godly against the sinner. You see, the godly would be the elect of the nation of Israel, man, and the sinner would be the so-called white man, Esau, the sons of perdition, that man of sin, in which he been revealed, man. This devil core has been revealed. Now we know who ultimately ruling the earth, man. You see, because this devil ultimately rule in deceit. You see, which the masses of the people ultimately don't know who's ruling the planet Earth, man. They think that it's Joe Biden. You see, when it's somebody behind Joe Biden that's ultimately pulling the strings, man. And it'll be your elite bankers, the dukes of the house of Esau. You see, he say the good is set against evil and life against death. So it's the godly against the sinner and the sinner against the godly. You see, so Esau is ultimately against the children of Israel, ultimately against the elect of the nation of Israel. You see, because the elect of the nation of Israel come teaching their life, man. And he's against it because his deceit is being quenched, man. Matter of fact, let's grab that real quick. It's the book of second. Let's go here real quick. So like the second Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 27. It says, for evil shall be put out, you see, and deceit shall be quenched by this truth, man. This truth is putting out, it's basically uncovering the devil, man. Now his deceit being quit. Now we can point out and tell you who behind, the jail, man. Now we can tell you who behind the crimes against humanity. Now we know who now. You see, the moment that everybody found out who the Illuminati was, that was the beginning stages of this devil being revealed, man. And it was all through Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, his prophets. You see, he said, for evil shall be put out and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish, corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, you see, this counsel, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, you see, and the truth, which has been so long without fruit, shall be declared, in which the truth is being declared, man. And it's consuming this devil. You see, it's consuming the so-called white man, And again, and just to say, this not no battle where, you go stack up on ammo and guns and you practice your aim. You kind of trying to get shot on the 50-yard shot. This ain't what this about, man. You see, because Esau working carnality, man. So you ain't going to be able to beat this devil at his own game. He was blessed with the sword, man. So this devil ultimately going to be more sharper than you. This is a spiritual battle. That's why everything is pretty much done in deceit, to deceive you, into thinking, what a carnal mind. You see? Matter of fact, let's go ahead real quick. This Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, he said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, You see? The flesh and blood, the carnal things, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, man. That's Esau game. That's a so-called white man game. That's why you always see him having YouTubes on gun reviews or shooting targets, doing gun, recoil reviews, and it's a so-called white man doing that, man. Jake ain't doing it, for real. So he said, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness. So like against the rulers of the darkness of this world, you see, which would be the so-called white man, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You see, so this battle is not carnal. It's not about how much weight you can bench, man. How big you is, how tall you is, how fast you is, how quick you can throw your hands. This not about learning martial arts. You see, ultimately, this all go back to the spirit and having faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. You see, because that faith is what's going to preserve you from the ways of the so-called white man, from that evil man. It all ultimately goes back to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, man. But that's a part of that battle. Hey, Jake fine, stacking the ammo and doing all sorts of the corner things in life, because that's the folly of a so-called white man. His folly is in great dignity. It's the book of Proverbs, chapter 24 and verse 20. It's like it. It's not Proverbs. Okay, come. So this is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 10, Slaki, and verse 6. It say, for folly, Slaki, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low places. You see, so that folly, the folly of Esau is set in great dignity. That's why the scriptures say, the vilest man walketh on every side when the wicked is exalted. Roughly paraphrase. So Jake fall for that folly, man, because that's the dignity. But the Lord said the rich sit in low places, and the rich is ultimately the children of Israel, man, the poor. You see, this wise counsel sit in low places because ultimately that wicked folly, carnality is exalted here in this kingdom. So here, this is the book of Thessalonians chapter 5. Matter of fact, let me get real quick. Let me get Proverbs 24 and verse 20. Let's grab that. It said, for there shall be no reward to the evil man. You see, for there shall be no reward to the evil man, but the candle of the wicked shall be put out. You see, and that's what you got taking place, man. That's why this devil is soon to come down with great wrath, because it's gonna get to the point where it ain't gonna be no more talking, man. That word mandate is not thrown around as a threat. Esau not at all trying to taunt or, pretty much talk shit, man. Esau throwing that mandate at that consume, he gonna come down with great wrath, man. He gonna make this mandatory. He gonna make that jab mandatory. He gonna make that Krabma mandatory, man. In which the Krabma is the MOTB. Read about that in Revelation 13th chapter, man. He said the candle of the wicked shall be put out, man. Because suddenly, man, death is going to fall upon those who basically pretty much went after the ways of the so-called white man. If you partake in his folly rather than the counsel of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Scriptures say, woe to them that call evil good and good evil. You see, woe meaning death and destruction. Let's go here. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 5. It said, ye. Matter of fact, you say 5 and 5. Ye are all the children of the light. You see, and that children of the light ultimately is the elect. You see, in the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of the darkness. You see, in the children of the darkness are ultimately Esau, man, and those who follow after his folly, man. They children of the darkness. You see, that's why the day of the Lord is ultimately going to overtake them as a thief in the night, man. Because they don't have eyes to see nor ears to hear. You see, he said, therefore let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, put on the breastplate of faith and love, and for a helmet the hope of salvation. For the Most High hath not appointed unto us wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, man. You see? So we hope in the salvation of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You see, we bring forth the gospel, the good news, man. You know, in which it's pretty much an insult to Esau, because the forefront of the gospel is the destruction of America, man. You know, but that's pretty much all I got on that. You know, I kind of just want to touch on that. You know, this current life we live in is not wrapped around carnality, man. You know, it's good against evil. You know, it's the elect against the so-called white man, Esau. You see, there's truth against the folly of Esau, man. But Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect and to those who seek salvation through our Lord Yahushua. Until next time, I say Shalom. Call Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushua by Shem HaKadosh, DTA, Abab Abal, Shalat Rayam to America soon.